Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them, of course. This is on channel James13 Wicca on YouTube, of course. For the main part of the reading for the tarot part, I'm using a deck by Denise Jarvie, artwork by Tony Carmine Salerno. Here's the front. The Art of Love Tarot. Skipped a beat on that one, didn't I? The website is blueangelonline.com if you want to check it out. It's there at the bottom. Hopefully you can see that. Supportive Oracle Cards, Spellcasting Oracle Cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lisbeth. There are their full names down there if you want to see how to spell them correctly. There's also a few websites on the back here. SheWhoIsArt.com always sticks out to me. Whatever works for you, go ahead and search that deck down if you're interested, of course. And for the dice, the game dice I use are from MathArtFun.com, which were a gift, which I'm very thankful for. So if you want, I have a 22-sided dice. I use 22 as 0, so I just, there's 21 cards, including, 22, including the Fool. Instead of 0, I use 22 for the Fool, 14-sided dice for the card for the Minor Arcana, and then a 4-sided dice for the element that goes with it. That's what I have for that. Alright, that being said, if you want a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and let's go into your reading. Hello, Capricorn. Thank you for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Capricorn? That also being said, for some reason, the camera said after like 2 minutes of recording your video, so I just started it, and I lost some data. I did one other video. I did Virgos, and that's gone too. But I'm wondering if this is going to feed into your reading, so that's why I'm adding that in. I'm telling you that information because it's already down, and I feel like we're going to go into this thing about a cycle and about when life throws stuff at you that you don't like and not letting it work against you. So let's see where we're going with this, because you have a great foundation for this situation. You got the Two of Cups and you got the Sun card. So whatever's going on or about to happen, because you do have something that's not favorable coming your way, and I feel like this is especially the way this whole video has gone so far, where I lost 2 minutes worth of data, which is 2 minutes. I know most people would be like, well, that's not that much. But still, it's frustrating, especially when I did also lose another video. The thing is to not let it own you, to step back, reset, and kind of all right, that happened. I'll deal with that when I need to deal with that. I'm not going to let this ruin the whole situation. And there is that foundation where you don't want to let that happen. But whatever's going on right now, something is coming out of the blue, and it is not making you happy. This is the Ten of Swords. And on this deck it says surrender, which I feel like that's a lot, but it's a lot to ask. But it's not surrender in the sense of I give up, you can have everything I have. Not like that type of surrender. Surrender to the fact that okay, this happened. Now I need to hold it together strong enough to keep what I already have, to not let what went wrong create more damage, because I feel like whatever's going on here, it could create more damage. And I feel like that's kind of why I went through this whole ordeal that I explained in the beginning with me losing data. Because in all honesty, it did kind of burn my biscuits a little bit. I did not like it. And I had to make that conscious choice, all right, I'm not going to let it ruin the day or the week or whatever. I'm going to pull it together. I'm going to redo what I need to redo. I still have your cards on the table, and I'm this is the same thing. This is the same thing. I still have this. I still have what I need in front of me, and I had the urge to just pick it up and just kind of put it away for a day and just you know what, I'm done for the day. But I'm no, I have other things I want to do the next couple days, and this is going to throw off my whole system. I'm going to have to re-edit in. So I'm I don't want to get rid of this. This is good information. So it's the same type of thing going on with your reading. Kind of all right, wait a minute. I'm not letting the situation own me. I own the situation. But still, when I'm feeling this, it's like, it's really hard to not let it do that. And it's kind of like, how do I move past it? But the thing is, you're Earth, right? You're Capricorn. It's kind of like, well, it's not going to go unchecked. It's not going to go unnoticed. How do I make it so this doesn't happen again? And honestly, I've been doing this for a few years. When this has happened in the past, what I've learned is like after I record a video, I usually load it up to the server. That way, it's like it's recorded. And the way I know it worked out is like I wouldn't be able to load it up to the server if it wasn't done right. I can check it, see it, load it, you know. This time, that's why I kind of know. Well, no, I was going to do 3 at a time. That's why. I was going to do 3 and then load them over. But thankful to the camera, after I did the first video, the camera's like, what are we doing? Why are we bothering? And kind of shut me down. So it's like creating new processes to be ahead of the situation. So whatever's going on in the situation, it's still good. You have a great foundation. The thing is, something's coming your way. It could cause damage. You could have an honest reaction that makes total sense why you would be upset and feel totally valid the way you feel. But the challenge for this is like to own the situation, to not let the situation own you. I almost feel like that's another. I keep getting like this is almost why this happened the way it did for me, because it's like it's hard. Like, truth be known, it was like 4 hours ago. 4 hours ago this happened, and I had to keep. I moved things around in my day so I could get myself a little bit of break. I was allowed to do that, but like instead of not doing anything else the rest of the day and just kind of be like, you know, I'll just do something else. I'll get other things done. This I have to get done. I have to do these things in the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. Instead of doing that stuff, which is out of order, I came back to it. I gave myself a pause, a 4-hour pause. I actually did try to recover things, and I was like, all right, I'm not going to waste my whole life trying to do this because it was only one file. Let me let go of it, get back in line, and get back to recording what I was recording. Your spread has been on the table for 4 hours, to be honest with you. So it's kind of like, all right, yeah, I had a minute. I needed a minute to regroup, pull myself together. I feel like Capricorn. I feel like you're going to understand when I'm like, I had to step away because it wasn't that big of a deal. And I feel like a lot of people would be like, it really wasn't that big of a deal. It did, but it threw me off balance. Like I had the whole day planned a certain way, and I'm like, I didn't like it. And I needed a minute to kind of pull it together. Even though I don't have really much earth in my chart, but let me tell you, I was feeling it. Maybe I was taking on your energy. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But it's kind of like I needed a minute to regroup and like to get over it. And I think I'm pretty much over it now. So whatever's going on, they're saying take this moment, realize don't let this situation own you. You own the situation. It does not own you. And what is over here? Keep moving forward. Empower yourself and keep moving forward. Keep going. I don't know about stepping back and like reevaluating this later. That might be a more realistic way to do it. Looking at your options, trying to figure out like why did it even do that? Because part of me is kind of like, why did it even do that? Because this is like every now and then, and you know this as well as anybody else, left turns happen and you're like, of all the things I could have planned for, I didn't see that coming. Like, life does that once in a great while. We don't like it, and just the bottom comes out from under us. Whatever's going on right now is not taking down the whole situation. And I've already talked to this once, but like they're saying, whatever you do, don't retreat right away, and don't retreat in the sense of like shutting everything down and like reevaluating everything. Whatever's going on here, this isn't going to work for this situation. It's going to that's going to empower the situation to own you versus you owning the situation. In pieces, you want to keep moving forward, and you want to keep getting things done. There's something random here. It's like, I feel like this is like the universe saying, you're really good at planning for everything you possibly could. You are really good at that, but the universe, there's always something. There will always be something that you just didn't know that was an option. You didn't know that was a possibility. You didn't know that this could be a thing. You have all the planning that can be done, you've done it. But there will always be something that's just left field, like, it didn't even occur to me that could be a thing. Make sure you keep going. Make sure you don't let the situation own you. Keep moving forward. I mean, I'm saying that as a person who, like, 4 hours later, I'm continuing on. So maybe it'll make you stammer for a minute, but, like, once you get yourself together, keep moving forward. Don't overanalyze it. Do yourself that favor, because it's kind of, they're saying you'll drive yourself crazy. Know that you're doing the best, that you're keeping the situation going, keep it going, keep control of the situation. Again, try to keep your plans on point as much as possible. I also feel like there's nothing here that you can find that you don't already know. So it's kind of like me looking at the SD card. It's kind of like I could spend money. Like, there was programs out there for like $100. There was people saying you could buy another SD card, one of these SD cards for $15, and then you get like this year thing where you can like analyze, like, you get a year's use of this one program. You don't even have to pay for. What technically you do would be $15, but anyway. And I'm just like, you know what? Maybe I just need to keep moving forward. I could go crazy trying to find an answer. I could go crazy trying to bulletproof this situation. But what I have to get done, I still have to get done. So it's kind of like, you know what? Instead of driving myself crazy going down that road and possibly not even finding the real answer of why it did what it did, I'm not a super techie person. I'm an okay techie person, okay-ish. So I'm like, you know what? I feel like I just need to accept it and keep moving forward. And you have the power to do this. What is the 12? Is that the Hanged Man? Yep, I believe so. The situation, whatever this is not going to offer viable answers. Offer viable answers? I feel like that sounds weird. Does that even make sense? It's not, like, the answers you get, I feel like you're going to get answers. You could get answers, but you won't be able to concretely prove that is definitely what happened. And it will just I feel like that'll just add a little bit more of the edge to it. Like, it'll just frustrate you. Like, that might have been what happened, but is it what happened? And that's what they're saying with this situation. Sometimes the answers aren't there. And makes sound reason. It totally makes sense why you want those answers, and I feel like that makes total sense why you want them. I feel like they're warning you that this situation is not going to offer them. You're going to be able to guess, but you won't have the concrete proof, like, this is definitely what happened. Yeah, you're blocked from it. Like, it's not going to be there. You'll have ideas. You can go down that road and have ideas, but you won't get the answer, is what I'm getting. You won't get that, indisputable proof that this was definitely it. You could chase down things, it'll drive you nuts, is what I'm also getting. I feel like it's hard to say that only because, like, I can understand wanting that information, totally get it. Kind of like, I want to bulletproof this so we don't have this problem again. I want to bulletproof this and get it, totally get it. But they're saying keep moving. I feel like I don't know, I feel hypocritical saying it a little bit. I really do, because I'm just like, I can totally respect why that's not acceptable. Totally respect it, but I'm also getting at the same time, like, the answers aren't going to be offered. They're not going to be available. It's kind of like, trying to figure out the pyramids. The information is, figuring that out is taking so much time. I still feel like they're figuring it out. I don't think they have all the answers yet, as far as I can tell. As far as I know, not that I keep on that really, really closely, but if you can find a way to make peace with this and keep moving and not accept that you're not going to get the answers, but kind of like realize that once in a while that's going to happen. I don't like the word accept for it. I don't feel like I'm just going to be like, oh, okay, that's going to be a thing. I don't feel like that's going to work here. More like, all right, that happened. I don't like it, but I need to keep moving. I get more by continuing forward than, like, over-analyzing this thing and not finding an answer. You're not at peace with it. I don't feel like you're going to ever really make peace with it, but it's kind of like, I understand that this is what's happening, and for the better outcome that I must have, I need to keep moving. By continuing moving forward, you do get your goal, by the way. You do get it, and things go where you want them to go. You got the transformation along with the commitment. Like, continuing forward, you will achieve your commitment. You will achieve it. What's the transformation with it? Can you just... Because I feel like they're saying it's like a cyclical thing here. Yeah, it's like I don't get the truth. I want it, but I'm letting go. And it's kind of like, this happens a lot in life. Kind of like, like by letting go and not chasing down these wild gooses and keep moving, I do get the goal. I feel like this is a lot to ask. I really do. But by continuing moving and kind of like, it's almost like, I feel like if you get to a place of this situation where it continues moving, I feel like you can mirror this into other situations where you realize something like this happened left field and it stalled you out and you lost some of the outcome you needed. And it's kind of realizing like I have to like evaluate things a little differently. When can I find the answer and it's something I can actually use versus when do I look for the answer and it's just going to be a waste of time? And I feel like this is one of those situations where I realize I could try to like hunt down that answer, but it's going to be a waste of time and it's going to diminish my return. It's going to diminish my outcome. So when you go forward and when you have these issues and it's going to be like, all right, I can get that answer and it'll add value to my outcome or it'll add value to the next time I do this, there's a difference between that versus like, I can try to find the answer about why this went cuckoo, but it's going to damage my outcome and it's not going to add value to future situations because it's just something I can't prove. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense because I keep looking at it and I'm like, I keep wanting more from it. Like I want those answers and I feel like maybe it's an addiction thing. Like I want those answers. I want them and I want them now. But like in this situation, I realized I could go crazy trying to figure out why that happened. I could even buy new equipment. I could, do all that stuff. And I could still end up having that issue anyway because I don't know why it did it. I don't know if it was the camera equipment that did it. I don't know if it was the computer I was loading it onto. I don't know if it was actually just the SD card. Maybe it had a glitch on itself. Maybe there was a piece of fuzz on it or something that caused it to happen. I don't really know the truth. But I can go crazy driving myself nuts trying to bulletproof something that I really don't even understand why it did what it did. So hopefully that's helpful. So I think the point in this thing is to keep moving, empower yourself, don't let the situation own you, own the situation. And sometimes like find a way to realize like when the situation isn't going to give you what you need and just to keep moving without it. That's the trick. Realizing when the situation will not give you what you need, so you just keep moving anyway so that you don't have that diminished return. That's the whole point of this. And I feel like that's what they're saying with this whole reading, because this is, I think, why I kept it down. Whatever it is, you have a great thing going here. And they're saying this moment could wreck it or cause a lot of damage to it. The trick is, keep moving. It's a lot. I know that's not Capricorn's normal jam, but they're saying instead of letting the situation own you, own it. Realize that this situation is not going to give you those bulletproof answers that you want. And when you realize that, kind of like instead of going that direction, keep going towards the goal, achieve the goal. After the goal has been achieved, and if you really want to go back and audit it afterwards, that might make some sense, but be careful. Like if you see it start splintering out, don't keep going down all these splinters. Shut it down, be all right. Sometimes life's going to be random. I don't like it, but I understand it, and let it go. Have I talked to it enough yet? I hope so. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.